breaking news today.
Please subscribe and then check notification box to get all breaking news alerts.
Smug reporter says Trump is risking national security. Sarah unleashes her worst nightmare. On Monday, a smug White House reporter accused President Donald Trump of risking national security. In response, White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders opened up a can of whoop-ass, unleashing the journalist's worst nightmare. During Monday's daily media briefing at the White House, Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders fielded questions from reporters who were still hung up on the fact that former White House Staff Secretary Rob Porter did not have a permanent security clearance. Porter resigned his position last week after allegations surfaced that he abused his two ex-wives. Around the same time, the media began obsessing over the fact that he did not possess a permanent security clearance during his time in the White House, which is not uncommon for someone in the position he held. During the White House press briefing on Monday, Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders was asked how people can handle classified information if they do not have a permanent security clearance. According to Sanders, the lack of permanent clearances rests on the intelligence agencies that are responsible for granting them. Attention was then turned to White House Staff Secretary Rob Porter, who resigned after allegations surfaced that he abused two ex-wives. Source: IJR. For some reason, the liberal media now wants anyone who works in the White House to have a permanent security clearance, never mind the fact that they have never found it necessary in the past. Of course, the overwhelming irony of the situation is that none of them have a permanent security clearance, even though they attend a daily press briefing at the White House. Does the White House have a rule or policy regarding how long an employee is permitted to operate with an interim security clearance? A reporter asked on Monday. As we've said, we're not going to get into the details of how the clearance process works, said Sanders, reiterating what she had already told reporters the week prior. Last week, we went further than we ever have before due to extenuating circumstances, and there's nothing further to add on that front, she stated. Look, this is a process that doesn't operate within the White House. It's handled by our law enforcement and intelligence community, said Sanders. And we support that process. It's the same process that has been used for decades in previous administrations, and we're relying on that process at this point. I do think that it's up to those same law enforcement and intelligence agencies to determine if changes need to be made to their process, she added. Can you guarantee you're protecting classified information when you have someone like Rob Porter? A reporter began to ask. We're doing and taking every step we can to protect classified information, Sanders responded. Then came the real zinger. I mean, frankly, if you guys have such concern with classified information, there's plenty of it that has leaked out of the Hill, leaked out of other communities well beyond the